Hello and welcome to this edition of the Synapse NG with Dr. Akimbowola Otitoju. Today, we are doing something quite different. We are bringing to you an entrepreneur, a certified management consultant, a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants. I'm talking about Mr. Obafemi Emilola. He is a chartered human resource consultant, a waste management consultant, and a professional data analyst who is proficient in tools such as Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and Tableau. He holds a postgraduate diploma in warehousing and materials management and a project management certificate, among other professional qualifications. And this, I mean by he will be giving us a lecture on waste management and how to profit from it. All right. He's very good at what he does. And usually, what he will be giving to us within this short time allocated to him is something that he will normally teach for weeks. However, he has agreed to speak to us. And if you enjoy the lecture, please drop your comments at the comment section. And I will also be dropping his phone number so you can reach out to him on how you can benefit from your waste. All right. So see you at the end of the lecture.
Hello there. My name is Obafemi Emilola. I'm a waste management consultant, and I'll be talking today about how to convert our waste to wealth. So it will interest you that basically all that we have in our homes or in our environment that we see as waste, they are not actually waste, they are resources that can be converted to other type of products. And being an advocate of SDG goal, we have taken it upon myself to ensure that we achieve all the goals. And if we must achieve all the goals, I want to believe that the first two, most of the challenge, if they are well handled or being or ensuring that we work mostly about them, then we can achieve all the goals, because it is when people are alive that other goals can be achieved. Okay, like the first and the second one that says reducing hunger and like eradicating poverty. If you want to reduce hunger and want to eradicate poverty, then we must ensure that we educate people on what they can use to sustain their lives, okay? Because a life not well sustained then cannot achieve other goals. So I'm going to be talking today about how to convert our waste to wealth, and I'm going to be sharing my slide. I want you to, if you have any question, after watching this, then please ensure that you get in touch with doctor, and I'm sure doctor will get in touch with me. Okay, so because of our limited time, so I'm going to be fast in sharing the slide, and we are going to be looking at just three most fun waste materials, or should I say recyclable waste that we use in our homes and we find around mostly, and they are waste paper, waste carton, waste PET bottles, and nylon. So I'm going to be sharing my slide now. Please ensure that you listen very well and it works. And if possible, whenever this is posted and you see it, please ensure you repost it so that we can have other benefits from it. Good. So now today we are going to be, I'm not going to take us much long because of our time. And, if you are going to look at the rate of poverty in Nigeria as of 2022 MPI, you see that over 40% of people are poor, according to 2018 and 19 National Monetary Poverty Line. And it will just be about 63% are multidimensionally poor. You can imagine this, and if we continue to deceive ourselves and not to educate people on this kind of education, then we might continue to have this number increased. And unfortunately, as of yesterday, I think the World Bank also, they gave their report that 63% of Nigeria are poor. So you can now imagine the percentage rate as at today, as at now, the rate of multidimensionally people that are poor. So, because of our time, let's continue this. So that is why we are ensuring that we are propagating the gospel of converting waste to wealth, because there are things that we buy ourselves. Okay, so and we can actually get value from them after usage, but many people does not actually know this. So we are educating people on this. So let me continue. I'm sure you know what waste is all about. Waste, people see that there's something of no value, something that cannot, something that is useless. But to people like us that have been to waste management for over a decade, and we know that we in the world today, basically we have nothing like waste. All those things that we see, we think that they are waste. They are actually one company resources or raw materials that can be used, to convert and make other products. Okay, so that is what waste is all about now. Waste is money. Waste is resourceful, and we can make money from waste. So let's continue. We have types of waste. I'm sure we know we have solid waste. We have e-waste, we have recyclable waste. We are going to be looking at recyclable waste most especially today. And like I said, nylon, waste bottles, and the carton. So, what is recycling itself? It's the process of collecting and converting of waste into reusable materials. Okay, we have the hierarchy of recycling: avoid, reduce, reuse, recycle, and landfill. Okay, we are trying everything possible to ensure that we reduce our landfill, and that is why the 3R we are taking them very, very important. That is the reduce. If we cannot reduce it because of the variation of production, and because we are human, okay, then we can actually reuse those materials. Then we can, if they are not reusable, then they can be recycled. Okay, they can be recycled. So I'm going to be showing you all this. I hope we have the time to be able to look at all of them. Okay, so and what are the economic benefits of recycling? It generates energy, because of the lipid content in some of these solid waste. Okay, they can be converted to energy. Then it creates employment. Okay, and it reduces the cost that we ordinarily should be paying the waste disposals, and also it generates income and reduces food shortages among many others. So today we are let me go to our waste materials immediately because of our time. We're going to be looking at nylon now. So nylon is a non-biodegradable materials that when it is being disposed in a wrong channel, it can stay for hundreds of years. We can imagine, and thereby reducing the content of our soil, and it can actually cause food shortages. Okay, so it is important for us to ensure that when we make use of those nylon, we don't just throw them away. Let's keep them, let's engage them, and so that we can reuse them and sell them to recycler if it is okay. So, and looking at types of nylon, we have different type of nylon, and we have low density, we have high density. I'm going to be showing you some now because of our time. Okay, and how do we get what are the stages in recycling? When you purchase, then you sort, then you palletize, and you extrude. So let's quickly go to nylon. Look at nylon. Okay, look at loads of nylon. Okay, they have been collected now. They are being sorted. So after being sorted, then the next thing to do is to grind. So now after grinding, grinding, then they're going to be separated this way. They're going to be put inside bags. Okay, can you see the bags? Then after that, then they are going to be extruded. Now extruding means they are going to be converted to same nylon, but the specification will now depend on customers. What type of nylon do they want? Do they want big nylon or so? So you can see the steps of waste nylon, and you can see that even despite the dirtiness of some of them, okay, they are reusable, okay, and they can be recycled. So now, looking at the extruding, it will depend on the specification of the customer. Looking at the extruded nylon, now you can see now that these are the extruded nylon, and the next thing now is to cut them. Okay, now let's look at the possible profits that we can get from a thousands of waste nylon. So if you are buying at 150 naira, we're going to be looking at just 1,000 kg, which is a ton. And if you buy at 150 naira per kg, now let's say the transportation cost is 40,000 and the miscellaneous is 10,000, then the total cost will be 200,000, right? Now, if you are going to sell it, you can actually sell it at the rate of 300 naira per kg or more. Now, look at the margin, 100k. So let's assume that you have more than a ton. So that means you can be going in with 200,000 or more. So let's look at the two others. This is the waste carton. Waste carton, unlike waste nylon that is not biodegradable, waste carton is a biodegradable material. Okay, it has a tendency of decomposing on time. So if you are going to be venturing into it, ensure that you keep it very, very well. Okay, these are the type of waste carton that can be that will be recycled. This cannot be reused again. Look at the way they are being arranged after grounded. Look at this man. What this man is doing now is reusing the flat carton that is they have been used before, but they were well properly used. Okay, the content in them were properly removed and they can be reused. So if you look at this man now, what he's doing is that he's cutting this carton and putting them based on customer specification. And if you look at the right side, you see what he has been able to make with it. Okay, so let's quickly look at PET bottles. So look at PET bottles. PET bottles is a non-biodegradable material, just like nylon. It can stay hundreds of years. Okay, so we must ensure that when we drink those drinks or water, ensure that you don't just throw them away, because all of them eventually get our gutters and preventive flow of waters. Okay, and I'm sure you know the consequences of that. So let's ensure that we eradicate all those minds from us. And look at waste PET bottles. These are the type that can be reused. So waste PET bottles can be recycled or can be reused. I'm sure you know that some of these people that sell cologne or probably soap and the rest, or all these SME that cannot go to new bottles, they go to people or they select all these things and they wash and they reuse them. So you can see that having the three materials in our home, they are very, very important. So I want to encourage us to ensure that we don't just throw them away after use henceforth. Let's ensure that we keep them. Okay, after keeping them, then we can look for where to sell them. If you want any further knowledge about this teaching, please contact doctor, and I'm sure we are going to do justice to all your questions. So while I see you all that time, please stay safe and ensure that you put all that we have taught into practice. Bye.
Thank you for watching. I believe you have learned one or two things from the webinar by Mr. Obafemi Emilola. So if you have any question or you want to reach out to him for business collaborations, please don't hesitate to contact us at Synapse NG.